Welcome to the annual Memorial Day Parade here in Sylvan Lake, the prettiest little city in the state of Michigan. My name is Shelley Childers. I'm a reporter for WXYZ Channel 7 News and also a new Sylvan Lake resident. And what a beautiful day to host this parade to honor and commemorate all the men and women who have served our country and those who have made that ultimate sacrifice. We have a lot for you in this parade. It's going to be filled with dozens of local children and their families. We have a rare Chris Croft boat for you with a unique family history behind it. And for the first time ever, a Drumline will be kicking things off here in Sylvan Lake. Of course, you can catch all of this on Civic Center TV and anytime on demand at civiccentertv.com. All right, welcome to the annual Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade. Kicking things off for us right now is the Sylvan Lake Police Department. Officer Holman and Officer Jaworz are in this front vehicle. Hello, Sylvan Lake Police. Thank you. And just behind them is the Coast Guard Auxiliary Honor Guard and flag organized by Sylvan Lake resident Wes Cottrell. We have Don and Nancy Premack, Firuz Ardian, Joni, and Bud Nusley are also a part of this honor guard. And next up we have the West Bloomfield High School Drumline. For the very first time joining us in this parade, what an honor and a treat. They are under the direction of Chad Nealons. Part of the award-winning West Bloomfield High School marching band. Students here compete for positions in this drumline and rehearse almost continuously. Even during the summer months, the West Bloomfield High School drumline was state champion in 2014 and state runner-up in 2016. They've been semifinalists 3 straight years in a row. And here we have a 1965 Morris Minor Convertible, owned and driven by Sylvan Lake resident Michael Palermo, with honor veteran Mike Schwanitz inside. Next up, we have a 1966 Mustang. This is owned by Sylvan Lake resident Mark Wood with wife Chris. Mark and Chris have been active in the community affairs of Sylvan Lake for more than 40 years. Well, beginning the lineup of children and families, we have Miss Liberty, portrayed by Allison Champa, and Uncle Sam, portrayed by Brian Champa. And we also have Betsy Ross, portrayed by Judy Neckel, and Abigail Adams in the white dress, portrayed by Leanne Gugarik. And take a look at this crowd of children and families on their decorated bikes, and their faces are painted, just ready for this Memorial Day celebration. These kids spent hours decorating these bikes beforehand, beginning at the City Hall, and painting their faces was Kathy Jensen. This is her 3rd straight year to join us to paint children's faces, so we are privileged to have Kathy yet again helping us out. And following all of those children and their families, we have a beautiful Ford Mustang convertible from Taylor Ford, generously provided by Sylvan Lake resident Jerry Arrowwood. This is driven by longtime Sylvan Lake resident Jerry Nickel with Kevin Christman, the pastor of Greater Harvest Church of God. All right. And next up, we have a 2015 Corvette with Sylvan Lake resident and longtime City Councilman Aaron Lorenz. What a beautiful car there that is. Driven and owned by Neil Davis with Aaron as the passenger. Aaron Lorenz has served with distinction on the Sylvan Lake City Council for 11 years. Aaron is also a renowned Sylvan Lake bocce ball player and a founding member of the famous Termites bocce ball team in the Sylvan Lake Bocce Ball League. And following that beautiful car, we have the Sylvan Lake Garden Club with their planted wheelbarrow. We have Sylvan Lake resident Ann Nichols carrying that planted wheelbarrow. The Sylvan Lake Garden Club began in 1939. This marks their 76th year in Sylvan Lake. The Garden Club prepares and maintains the Memorial Park all summer long and places, of course, a beautiful wreath at Memorial Park on Memorial Day every year. That wreath placed this year was made by Sylvan Lake resident Sylvia Ozga. And you can hear the sounds of the bagpipes already, but just in front of the bagpipes is Ben's Snow Cones. Ben Mirzra and friends are walking this banner. Young entrepreneur Ben has operated a snow cone stand in front of his yard in Sylvan Lake since he was a small child. He is now a junior at Brother Rice High School. Go Warriors! So we have bagpiper Jacon Rocky He's also captain of Rockies Rangers, another Sylvan Lake Bocce Ball Club team. What a great musical talent to have him joining us. Following the bagpiper, we have the Bocce Ball Club, and up next is U.S. Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence is a lifelong resident of Michigan's 14th Congressional District, which includes 18 communities in Oakland and Wayne counties, including our very own Sylvan Lake. She was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2014 and is a member of the House Committee on Small Business and the House Oversight and Government Reform Committees. We're very proud to have Representative Brenda Lawrence returning for a second year in a row to the Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade and Recognition Ceremony. Thank you, Brenda.
I say Sylvan, you say Lake. Sylvan! Sylvan!
A lot of festive parade goers out here on this beautiful Memorial Day 2016. A lot of festive music, happy faces, dozens and dozens of family and children out here to honor these veterans and those that gave that ultimate sacrifice. All right, and coming up next are the Friends of the West Bloomfield Public Library in this red convertible Mazda Miata. This is owned and driven by Sylvan Lake resident Lauren Morena. Lauren is also an honored veteran, having served in the U.S. Army in Berlin during the Cold War. The West Bloomfield Public Library is a winner of the nation's highest award to libraries, and that's the National Medal for Museum and Library Service. The West Bloomfield Public Library is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and the children's section of that library is truly a special treat with entertaining learning experiences for the youngest of all ages. And following that, we have the Oakland County Boat Club. Joining with the Boat Club are representatives of the American Legion Post 341, whose members are riding on this float. The Oakland County Boat Club was established in 1912. Oakland County Boat Club Commodore is Mike McPhee, and Vice Commodore is Rose Scanlon. Take a look at this very creative float. Thank you to the American Legion for being part of this Post 341 on our Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade. And up next, we have the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. They have collected and preserved the history of the Tri-Cities area, that's Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kegel Harbor, and West Bloomfield Township, since 1974. You'll see plaques and old photos at key locations throughout the Tri-Cities area, including 7 here in Sylvan Lake. They were all lovingly prepared by lifetime Sylvan Lake resident Helen Jane Peters and Eric Weigand. Thank you to the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society for all the work you've done in Sylvan Lake already to preserve our history. And take a look at this creative parade fashion. And following, we have the Parks and Recreation Committee float. The float theme for this year is All American Family Fun. The Parks and Recreation Committee is the preeminent volunteer organization in our community. The Parks and Rec Committee organizes and presents community activities in the city throughout the year. Fun activities for young and old and all ages in between. The Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour is actually coming up in just a few weeks on June 25th. Docents, van drivers, and volunteers are still needed. Just a little reminder for you right there. And following that is the Sylvan Lake Police Department and their float. That's our City Hall float pulled by the Sylvan Lake Police four-wheeler. Sergeant Mondu and Officer Schultz are walking behind that float. Thank you, officers, for being a part of today's parade. And following, we have Jan Heiser, neighborhood realtor. She is in a vintage Jaguar. It's driven by honored vet Gene Paulson. Riding with Gene in the car is honored Korean War veteran and lifetime Sylvan Lake resident Ray Dahlgren. Also, we have walkers with Jan Hayes handing out lots and lots of goodies and treats for the kids out here, so be sure to get your hand on some candy. Jan has been a part of the Sylvan Lake community for more than 25 years. She's a longtime supporter of civic events and also provided the U.S. flags that line this parade route from City Hall to Memorial Park today. So thank you so much, Jan, for all of your contributions to today's parade. And coming up closely behind Jan Hayes, we have the LP Financial Group. The LP Financial Group is a Sylvan Lake business owned by Leslie Person. This group provides financial and insurance services to all of our Sylvan Lake residents. Thank you, LP Financial Group. Up next, we have Sylvan Lake resident Luke Cassar in a truck pulling a 1956 Chris Craft boat. This boat was originally purchased by Luke's father back in 1956, and what a unique story we have here. It was used on Sylvan Lake for 26 years before being sold. Then in 1988, Luke located the boat and repurchased it, restoring it, then presented it to his father as a gift on his 88th birthday. That boat still is in use on Sylvan Lake today. It's the pride and joy of the Cassar family. And following closely, we have a 2016 Ford Mustang generously provided by Sylvan Lake resident Jerry Arrowwood. It's driven by Kevin Mearswa with honored veteran Pete Peters in the passenger seat. And we have J&J Towing following that Ford Mustang. J&J Towing, another local Sylvan Lake, Kego Harbor business in the Tri-Cities area. We have Officer Smith on a police bicycle. So thank you to Officer Smith for riding a bike during this parade and showing more of that police officer support for the Memorial Day parade. Following J&J Towing, rounding us out on this beautiful Memorial Day parade, we have the Sylvan Lake Police Department. Inside, this car is driven by Sergeant Zulk. Thank you so much, Sergeant, for being a part of today's parade. And then we have the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Enjoying all the sights and sounds out here at the annual Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade in the prettiest little city in the state of Michigan. Thank you to these first responders for donating their time and their service today to our parade. And if you missed today's parade, you can always catch it at Civic Center TV. That airs on Channel 15 on Comcast and Channel 99 on AT&T. Of course, you can catch it anytime on demand at civiccentertv.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Memorial Day in Sylvan Lake.